Seeing the hidden germs in a car, a presentation and blacklight activity. So for today, you'll be getting an introduction of our capstone team. You'll get some background on our capstone project, detection of health hazards in autonomous vehicles. You'll get an introduction of the blacklight activity and also a full walkthrough of the activity. So time for introductions. Who are we? My name is Nicole Bailey, and my other group members are Mitchell Harling and Hannah Varney. The three of us are all senior biomedical engineers at the University of Maine, and we've been working very hard over the past school year on our capstone project, along with our faculty advisor, Dr. Robert Bowie, and our client, Dr. Richard Corey. So what are we talking about? As I mentioned, our project is about autonomous vehicles, or in other words, self-driving cars. So these cars are exactly what they sound like. They're fully capable of navigating themselves from one point to another with little to no interaction with the passenger. The passenger would be able to enter the vehicle, set a final destination, and then there's no other input required from the passenger. While these cars may look futuristic, the truth is that this is what's happening right now. These cars are expected to be released into the market within the next 5 years.
Self-driving cars have no driver. This means that passengers may not pick up after themselves. Over time, the car can get very messy. Nobody wants to ride in a car with all of this trash. Some messes are too small to see with our eyes, but can be bad for us. Germs are so small that we can't see them, but if the car is dirty, there are probably germs in the car that can make us sick. Germs are so little that we can only see them under a microscope. If we sit in a dirty car and don't clean ourselves afterwards, germs can get on our hands. If we touch our face, the germs can make us sick. So it is important to always wash your hands to kill the germs that may be on you. Cleaning your hands keeps you happy and healthy.
What our project specifically is taking an image of the interior of the car before the passenger enters, then taking another image after the passenger leaves. Through this, we are able to use some computer software to perform an image subtraction, which will give us a percent difference. This percent difference represents the dirtiness of the interior of the vehicle and could indicate whether or not the car needs to be cleaned. This information can then be sent online to either the owner of the car or also to the passenger. So now it's time for the activity. Step 1 for this activity is to make invisible ink using highlighters, petroleum jelly, or other fluorescent substance. Hannah will walk you through how to make invisible ink using a highlighter. Step 2 is using this invisible ink to make hidden symbols or messages that could represent hidden germs. Step 3 is to display these hidden symbols or messages around the house or classroom. And step 4 is to provide the students with a small black light and allow them to explore the house and try and find and search for these hidden symbols.
Hello! Today I'm going to teach you how to make invisible ink using a highlighter. So you'll need a highlighter, a bowl with some water, a pair of pliers, and then something to keep the invisible ink in. So first you're going to want to take your highlighter and take it apart. So for this type of highlighter, you need to take the back part off with the pliers and knock the ink out of it. And you'll also need to take this tip here off as well. Like this. Then you put this away for now. Take the ink and the tip and put it in your bowl of water. Once you've done that, there should be about a cup of water in this bowl. Put it in the microwave until it boils. This took about 2 to 3 minutes for me. Once this is boiling, take it out of the microwave and with your pliers, because this will be very hot, pick up the ink cartridge and squeeze the remaining ink out of it. Do the same thing with the tip. After you've done this, put the ink and the tip back in the bowl and add water until the solution is clear, but it's still colored. Then put this back in the microwave and boil it again. This took about 1.5 to 2 minutes. Once you've done that, let the liquid cool down and put your highlighter back together. Like so. Now this is the pen that you'll use to draw with the invisible ink. And this is your ink. So pour it into a sealable container and you'll have invisible ink to use. Now that you have your invisible ink, we can start our activity. So for this, you're going to need a black light. This is the one we're using for our project, but they do sell handheld ones since this is a bit big. So we're going to start out at the fridge. So if we walk over to the fridge, on the fridge is a note. So if we look at this note, we get a message. It says there are 4 major types of germs: bacteria, viruses, fungi, and protozoa. Now, if we use our black light, it says go to the dishwasher. So we're at the dishwasher, and this also has a note. So if we open this note, it says, whipping their tails, E. coli can travel 25 times their own length in 1 second, equivalent to a horse running 135 miles per hour. And if we look for a secret message, it says go to the oven. So now we're at our oven, and there's another note. And if we open this up, it says bacteria have been around for at least 3.5 billion years, making them the oldest known life form on the planet. And looking for a secret message, says go to the washing machine. So now we're at the washing machine, and there is another note. So if we open that up, it says, in 2006, a probe in the South African gold mine found bacteria living nearly 2 miles underground, living on the energy given off by radioactive rocks. And using our black light, it says go to the trash can. So now we're at our trash can, and there's another note. So when we open that up, it says, your body has 10 times more bacterial cells than human cells. And our next stop is to go to the sink. So at the sink, we have another note. It says, a clean mouth has between 1,000 and 100,000 bacteria on each tooth. The human body is home to over 1,000 species of bacteria. And our note says, go to the table. So here we are at the table, and it says, congrats, we finished. And our prize is a bunch of cleaning supplies. There are a lot of hidden germs everywhere, so please make sure you wash your hands with soap and water for at least 20 seconds, and you clean everything regularly. I hope you enjoyed.